Once upon a time, there lived unhappy young girl. Unhappy she was. Her mother was dead. Her father had married another woman, a widow with 2 daughters, and her stepmother didn't like her one little bit. All the nice things, kind, tall, and loving touch were for daughters, and it's the kind, tall, and love. But also dresses, shoes, soft, delicious food, comfy bed, as well as every home comfort. That is the her nickname for everybody called Cinderella. Cinderella used to spend long hours all alone, talk to the cat. The cat said, "Meow, we truly may. Cheer up, you have something neither of your stepsister has. That is beauty." One day, beautiful new dresses arrived a house. A ball was to be held at court, and the stepsister was getting ready to go to it. Cinderella didn't even dare ask, "What about me?" Foreseeing you very well what the answer that will be. "You, my dear girl, you are staying home to wash the dish, scrub the floor, and then down to bed for your stepsister. They will come home, tired and very sleepy." Cinderella said at the cat, "Oh dear, I'm so unhappy." And the cat murmured, "Meow." Suddenly, something a mess happened in the kitchen. Cinderella was sitting by herself. There bursts of light, a fairy had appeared. "Don't be alarmed, Cinderella," said the fairy. "The wind blew me your side. I know you would love to go to the ball, and so you shall." "How can I? Dresses in rags." Cinderella replied, "The servant will send me away." The fairy smiled. With a flick of her magic wand, Cinderella found herself wearing the most beautiful dress, the loveliest ever seen in the realm. "Now we have settled the matter of the dress," said the fairy. "We'll need to get her a coach, or your lady will never go to the ball on foot. Quick, get me a pumpkin. See our dirt." "Oh, of course," Cinderella rushing away. Then the fairies turned to the cat. "You bring me 7 mice." "7 mice?" said the cat. "I did know fairies ate mice too." "They are not for eating, silly. Do as you are told, and remember, you must believe." Cinderella soon returned with a fine pumpkin and the cat with 7 mice he had caught in the cellar. "Good," exclaimed the fairy. With a flick of her magic wand, wonders of wonders, the pumpkin turned into a sparkling coach, and the mice became 6 white horses, while 7 mouse turned into a coachman in a smart uniform carrying a whip. Cinderella could hardly believe her eyes. "I shall present you at court. You will soon see that the prince, in whose honor the ball is being held, will be enchanted by your love wings. But remember, you must leave the ball at midnight and come home, for that is when the spell ends. Your coach will turn back into a pumpkin, and the horse the same mice again, and the coachman will turn back into a mouse, and will be dressed again in rags, and wearing clothes in touch of their little slippers. Do you understand?" Cinderella smiled and said, "Yes, I understand." When Cinderella entered the ballroom at the palace, everyone stood in my sentence to admire her elegance, her beauty, and grace. The prince set eyes on Cinderella. He was struck her beauty. Walking over to her, he bowed politely and asked her to dance. He danced with Cinderella all evening. "Who are you, fair maiden?" the prince kept asking her, but Cinderella only replied, "What does it matter who I? You will never see me again anyway." "Oh, but I thought I'm quite certain." Cinderella had a wonderful time at the ball, but all of a sudden, she heard of sound the clock the first struck at midnight. She remembered what the fairy had said, and without a word of goodbye she slipped from the prince, arm around down the step. As she ran, she lost one of her slippers. But for a moment, she did dream of stooping to pick it up. The prince, who was madly in love with her, picked up the slippers and said to ministers, Go and search everywhere for the slipper feet. I will never be content until I find her. So the ministers tied on the foot of all the girls, and on Cinderella's foot as well. Surprise! The slipper fitted perfectly. Then I fool Anthony Gold, she will can't have been on the ball. Snapped the stepmother. Tell the prince he called to marry one of my daughters. Can you see how ugly Cinderella is? Can you see? Suddenly she broke off. A fairy had appeared. That's enough, she exclaimed. Pressing her magic wand in flash, Cinderella appeared in a splendid dress, shining with youth and beauty. Her stepmother and stepsister gaped in amazement, and the minister said, "Come with us, permitting the prince away to present with his engagement ring." So Cinderella joyfully with them and lived happily ever after with the prince. And as for the cat, he just said, "Meow."